digital gringo, the godfather of punk, the patron saint of keeping it real, and today we're diving back into the vile kingdom known as r/folkpunk, and we're gonna take a glance through the people and see what's going on in their neck of the woods.
Digital gringo tells it like it is.
Now, I ain't even gonna front about this. I literally went to like the first 7 posts, and that's where I got these. That's how cringe r/folkpunk stays. It's fucking nuts. I consider violent femmes my entry to folk punk back when I was 12 in the 90s. I am so fucking sick of folk punkers claiming the violent femmes as folk punk. Shit's fucking nuts. Violent femmes are way too good to be folk punk. This shit is just folk.
Oh, please pardon me, mister.
They aren't playing fast punk shit. And if you're trying to claim that they're singing in a nasally, effeminate voice as what makes it folk punk, please. Think again, sweetheart. Bob Dylan was already singing about politics with a shitty nasally voice since the 1960s. 21 years before violent femmes were even a thought. So if we're gonna say that the violent femmes are folk punk, then Bob Dylan is the god of folk punk. And if you're gonna say Bob Dylan's the god of folk punk, does that make Patti Smith the Virgin Mary and Lou Reed the Joseph? But I swear, if that's the truth, nowhere down that folk punk bloodline lies the violent femmes. They're a patron saint at best.
Bad take.
Is this folk punk? For all you frugal musicians, make guitar picks out of your calluses when they fall off. I gave mine a cool design with a pin. First of all, that is not a cool design. That is a whack design. Second of all, is this folk punk? I'm shocked if this isn't folk punk. This is disgusting. And we all know folk punk is a land where you get to be fucking foul and people accept it and go, hey, you know what? And the comment section backs that shit up. Unfortunately, it totally is. It is too folk punk, which funnily enough is the correct amount of folk punk. Motherfucker, there is no amount of folk punk that is the correct amount of folk punk. Folk punk needs to stop, please. Just stop. Then we got a glittery B6397 over here with the motherfucking quote of the century from Spy Kids 2. Do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he created? Shit's gonna wear down super quick. Use your toenails instead. They grow way quicker than calluses and they're much more firm. That is the most folk punk shit I've ever heard. It's fucking absurd. What the fuck is going on in this world that this is some shit that's on Reddit? What the fuck? Guitar pictures made enemies. Why is this shit so fucking r/Fedora? That's where that comment belongs. Yes, and it's downright disgusting, which only adds to the cred, really. Dude, I hate that folk punkers are so proud of being crusty, folk punky ass motherfuckers. It's disgusting. Y'all be smelly as shit. You girls, you be smelly as shit. You boys be smelly as shit. What the fuck is going on? I don't play an instrument, but I do other things that make you grow calluses, and if they're tearing off, you're doing something wrong. You rub them down gently with the pumice stone after showering, they won't build up to the point that they get caught on things and tear off your body. Dude, that's a motherfucking Buffalo Bill ass response right there. This dude knows about calluses. This is off the hook. I gotta get the fuck out of this section. Dude, I just don't get why folk punkers say... I just don't get why folk punkers take so much pride in being foul and putrid and vile. If I was a bitch, I'd say it gave me the ick. But in general, it's just so fucking funny to be proud of being a little stinker. You little fucking stinkers. Meta becoming unusable. So for as long as I've been doing punk stuff, Instagram has been the most popular platform for artists to promote shows and stuff for fans to find them. Facebook is a thing too, but seems to have fallen out of favor as time goes by. Now that Instagram has implemented new user policies that explicitly permit transphobia and racism, like aggressively, and allow AI to scrape everything that gets posted, it's starting to seem like the platform is becoming unusable. Especially for those of us who use Instagram is directly targeting. I've started using Bluesky, and I'll probably end up starting a new Tumblr as well for music stuff. If you use Instagram and haven't found out yet, go do a quick Google search about the recent changes in policy and ask yourself why you keep using a platform like that. maybe time to ditch meta completely. Dude, folk punkers are always saying fight the system and then back out the moment things get uncomfortable. I could tell from this post that this poster is the type of person to think that white people don't season their food or white people comments are funny. I think they're funny, but I think it's because they're so stupid. That's the type of person this is. This is a person that will always say they're doing what's right, but never really question if what they're doing is right. They're just going to take shit at face value, accept it, eat it up, and it's over. I miss stapling flyers to telephone poles. A tradition very much still alive as long as we have anything to do with it. I'm convinced we're headed back in that direction when everyone comes to their senses. Dude, you guys aren't being revolutionary with this type of talk. It's fucking pussified. Dude, just accept the shit and use it to your advantage. But instead you're like, I'm just gonna ditch the biggest platforms for fucking Blueski? Dude. You gotta be comfortable in the uncomfortable, especially if you're a punk. And you're sitting here claiming to be folk punk, which is like the echelon of fucking punk. Like, you guys are the most crusty, the most dirty. I'm over here being a pop punker and shit. You're over there doing folk punk. You're being dirty, rotten scoundrels. And you're scared of a little bit of free speech? Fucking nuts. Have a feeling Discord, Blueski, and Telegram are all going to be much more popular this year now that Meta went full MAGA. Dude, you guys sound so fucking pussified. Get on there together and fucking stand up against this shit. But no, you're going to sit here and cry about it on fucking Reddit. Fucking pussies. After scrolling through these comments, it's just folk punkers crying and wanting censorship of free speech and crying over things not being the way they used to be. Quit being sissies. Either get with it or get out, because we don't have time for all this sissified Tweety birdness. Folk punkers are like the densest population of act tough fucking sissy crybabies. It's fucking nuts. Much worse than the hardcore scene. Folk punk scene in Northeast England. Just wondering if there's any folk punk artists/fans around Northeast England. I'm starting a brand new project after years of thinking there isn't any scene out here. But new year, new me has got me thinking I should go out and create a scene if I can't find one. So if you're on here from northeast of England and either play a little bit yourself or would love to go to some folk punk shows up here, let me know. Dude, please do your whole fucking country a favor. Do not start an English folk punk scene. You guys already have enough problems in your country and you're just inviting a shitty environment to come in and openly start? Crustiness will increase over 100%. And the economy of England will fucking tank. Dude, I'm American. Home of the OG folk punkers. And trust me when I say, your little island couldn't handle the crust that you are trying to bring upon it. This is a virus I do not want you to spread, dude. What are some cheap and easy to learn instruments to include on a folk punk album? We have guitar, washboard, jaw harp, washtub bass, and a harmonica so far. First off, you're clearly on your way to becoming an annoying folk punker. But don't listen to these comments. Spoons and a saw are pretty punk. A saw? For like cutting wood? How do you play a saw? Didgeridoo. Not funny. Washboard, kazoo, pots and pans, DIY shakers, ham bone, bucket drum, tin whistle. Harmonicas are pretty cheap. All horrible suggestions. Like, what folk punk are you listening to, dude? I'd say get an acoustic guitar, learn an A minor, C, F, and G progression, and you'll be on your way to writing songs about police brutality and stints in rehab in no time. You literally have what you need to start your folk punk stuff. The only thing that's stopping you is you. Okay, I've had about enough of this bullshit for the day. Like, comment, subscribe. You want to email me some folk punk shit I could roast? Send it to my email down below. And if you don't like this shit, let me know why down below. Next up, we're going to be reviewing Ash Bricky. Stay tuned.